What is up, you guys? It is Angelica and Natalie, the Gallivant Gals, here on our first podcast. Natalie has been bugging me about this for months upon
Just a
end,
little
and
bit.
just a smidge. And here we are. We are so excited to bring to you all the things about travel, lifestyle, just honestly just shooting the breeze sometimes. We have a lot of great content lined up. We're super excited to be doing this. We nicknamed, or not nicknamed, but fully named our podcast, the Gallivant Gals, and went back to our roots of when we were just blogging about our everyday gallivanting adventures. And we felt like it was just like the perfect name for our podcast. So welcome to the Gallivant Gals Podcast. We're excited to have
Welcome.
I'm going to turn it over to Natalie real fast.
Me?
She'll give you a little bit of info about herself, and then we will go from there.
Awesome. So we thought we'd take the first episode and just introduce ourselves, give you a little detail about us. But my name is Natalie, and I am originally from Utah, and I've been in North Carolina for like 22 years. I have a son and a daughter. I've done hair for 20 years. That makes me feel super old. And I've been in the travel business for a while.
A while.
13 years. But in a nutshell, that is me.
She's also a Hufflepuff.
Oh, I'm a Hufflepuff through and through. I don't know if there's anything that describes me better. So,
I mean, when I say the epitome of a Hufflepuff, Natalie is the epitome of a Hufflepuff. So
that is true. Very much so.
my turn.
You go. Sorry.
All right. My name is Angelica. I am a wife and mom of 3. I have 2 daughters and a son. I have not been in the travel industry quite as long as Natalie. My original trait, I'm an esthetician. So I was also in the salon industry, same as Natalie. I also owned a women's boutique and still do with my mom. And then Natalie and I opened up our travel business, Gallivant Gals Travel, back almost exactly a year ago. So we're
Which is crazy.
just over a year in of owning our own travel agency, and what a whirlwind that has been. I am a huge Disney fan, huge Harry Potter fan, huge Marvel fan, all the fandoms.
You're all the
all
of them.
Big nerd. I am a Slytherin, if we're going to talk houses, and every Slytherin needs their Hufflepuff. So we are the dynamic duo. We definitely complement each other very well. And I am just excited that I actually finally made time to do this, because I did not think it would happen. So
it was going to happen. I was not going to let this slide. No, it was not.
The Hufflepuff and her would not take no for an answer.
No.
Like, about that podcast, I mean, we don't have to if you don't want to. Like, okay, great, I don't want to. And she's like, I just think it would be a really great idea. And I'm like, she's never going to drop it. But honestly, I think it's a great idea. I think it's great for our business. I think it's going to be great for our agents who are part of our team. And honestly, just putting out some travel information out there for you guys. Anything that we can do to help build the travel community as a whole. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. We want to create content that's good for the consumer and for the travel agent. So we want to give you like knowledge while making it fun at the same time.
We also want to bring you like the new and upcoming stuff, or like sometimes the rumored stuff, which I haven't even told Natalie. It's gonna be the Gallivant gossip.
Oh, still goes with the GG. We got the GG gossip and the GG. So we're
gonna have a tea time from time to time where, like they just had D23 and they talked about all the up and coming stuff that they were doing with the parks. And so the Gallivant gossip is here to bring you like all the quick updates of like, hey, guess what?
I love it.
Have you heard?
I love it. And I love that you saved it to tell me on the podcast
I know, because I
because
wanted your reaction.
I love it. I think that's great. I really do.
Perfect.
So I love it.
Yay.
I said that like 3 times. I'm not allowed to say it again. But
now she's internalizing and she's going to be like, don't say I love it again. Don't say it.
and now I'm going to fret about it the whole time.
Just going to replay this conversation for the rest of the evening. And
Maybe.
welcome to, you know, both of us who suffer from anxiety, which, you know, is, you know, we're no stranger to it, and we will be very upfront about our ADHD and our anxiety, because we will squirrel and we will wander and we will gallivant onto other subjects and then try to bring it back.
And I'll try to reel you back in, and you can try to reel me back in. So
no, I am not the reeler.
I'll reel it back in because I'll be thinking about, we're off topic. We need to bring this back.
Like 20 minutes. We're trying to keep it under 20 minutes. She's the responsible one of the two of us.
I try. We did want to talk a little bit too about how we got into travel.
Yeah.
I blame myself for Angelica's, but I'll start with mine. So I was doing hair, and this girl was telling me about her friend that just opened up a travel agency, and she's going to be doing cruises. And I was like, oh, but Disney was involved. And I was like, sign me up. I am Disney crazy. We go all the time. I know too much. I'm already obsessed. Like, this will fuel my obsession and bring me so much joy. So that is when I started on with the agency we were with before. And I was there for like, I don't know, 11, 12 years. And then Angelica and I went on a girls' trip together, and we did not know each other.
We didn't.
We did not know each other on this trip.
Like through
social media.
But we didn't know it ever is that. Like we had been friends on social media probably for what, like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. It was when you were doing your other stuff.
Yeah, my y'all pray for me stuff. And then so we went on this girls trip, and I was invited through a mutual friend of ours, and we were like, you know, she was like, let's just get a group of us to go. She's like, the girl that does my hair, you would love her. You know, you guys would get along like super well. She's just really energetic. And I'm like, super, because I'm energetic, but I'm also like, my social battery gets drained really easy. And so, and I get a little like anxious meeting new people. So I was a little hesitant that first girls trip, but go ahead.
Well, no, we just hit it off. And it's funny to me because I feel like people that know us, in fact, someone that I talked to just the other day, I was like, oh, well, you know Angelica, my business partner and my friend. And she's like, oh, yeah.
Excuse me, friend.
Well, absolutely, friend. But in this context, we're talking about...
You're missing the one word that goes...
But my bestie, my best friend.
I have died dead, Natalie.
But no, I was talking to her, and I made a comment that we'd only known each other for like 3 years.
Yeah.
2 years? 3 years? 3 years. And she was like, I thought you guys grew up together. I was like, no. We
couldn't have, because Natalie's older than I am.
Exactly. Am I the cougar, or you're the cougar?
You're the cougar. I'm the young one. You as Robin the Cradle with your best friend.
Yes, I am. So I do think it's funny that people think that we've been friends like forever.
Yeah.
But it's just been a short period of time. So we went on this trip, and then how did you get into travel?
So we went on this trip to Disney, and it was right after my birthday.
Best.
And I mean, we had a blast. And when I say like, I miss COVID Park. Okay, like I miss
COVID Park was awesome.
Because Disney was like, there was nobody there. I don't miss the whole like mask thing, but like, gosh, the lines were just heavenly. Anyway, so we had the best time. We came home, and it was like what, maybe a month or two after.
Yeah, it was pretty shortly after. It wasn't a long time.
And I was just kind of inquiring with, or not really inquiring. I kind of had talked to my husband about it, and I was like, you know, I really could get into the travel side of things, because I knew Natalie was a travel agent, and I had worked with a travel agent once for one of our Disney trips, and that was about it. And I didn't really know how the industry itself works. So I reached out to Natalie and I was like, hey, how does this travel thing work? What are the qualifications? What do I have to do? Because I think I could do it. I've not been, I've been on cruises. I've been to Disney, been to Universal, but I've not done, everything. But is this something that I could do? And so she put me in touch with the agency owner that she was working for at the time. And I will say, going into this, Natalie never had the mindset of, oh, Angelica's going to be competition. Because we do have some of the same circle. And so Natalie was just like, oh my gosh, you would be great at this. We could collab. We could do this. And that has honestly been the mindset of our business, no matter whether we were working for the other agency or even in our own agency. Because Natalie still books travel. I still book travel. We have agents that book travel, but she has always had that collaborative mindset. And so I always felt really comfortable kind of going into this, almost like I had a little cheerleader in my corner. She was rooting me on. And
I can't help it. It's the inner cheerleader in me.
It's the Hufflepuff in you that you
It's
want
the Hufflepuff
everybody
in me.
to succeed. So
I love cheering people on.
you really do. You really do. You are one of the best for just okay, quick squirrel. The first time we ever rode Velocicoaster, okay, Natalie rode in the row behind me. Okay.
I still don't remember how we were not together.
Because it was me and Shelly, and then you were in the row right behind us because there was just three of us.
Yes. I could not remember that.
So Natalie's riding Velocicoaster for the first time, and I'm riding it for the first time. Me and Shelly are in the front row. Natalie's in the second row. Okay, with some teenage kid.
He was probably 18.
If that.
Maybe 17. So yes.
We get done with Velocicoaster. Why
are you
It knew I was telling a great story. So
okay.
At the end of it, all of a sudden, me and Shelly are like, that was awesome. And I turn around to get Natalie's reaction, and she is high-fiving this random teenage kid. Did you have fun? Was that the best?
We were 10-5ing. We were that was awesome.
And I'm I would never high-five a stranger ever. So that just goes to show you how Natalie is.
Just fun.
With really just anybody. Okay, so back to my story.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into the travel business, was just reaching out to Natalie. Well, fast forward, I was with our agency for 2 years, and I had kind of had the itch, and I talked to Natalie about it. Not that I don't like working for somebody else, but being in business for myself for as long as I had been, it was kind of one of those, I was like, there's a lot of potential for us owning our own agency. And I kind of put the bug in Natalie's ear. And I was like, what do you think about us going out on our own? And she's like, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot that goes into it, with insurance. And, we had just kind of just dabbled with the idea. We never really committed. And then an opportunity presented itself for us to be able to go out on our own. And honestly, it was the best decision that we ever made. Ever.
Well, I remember exactly. We were driving to Disney on our first trip, and that we went on that June 2022 trip.
Yeah.
And you said, what if one day we just open up our own? So that's when we started our Instagram page, with the intention that maybe in 3-4 years,
5 years, that was the 5-year plan.
It was a long in the future plan. And then within a year, it wasn't already in the works. It wasn't even a year.
It was right at, so we started the Gallivant Gals blog, or Instagram.
The Instagram. Yeah.
And, it was basically, it was where she and I collaborated, even though we were, on separate teams, or not really teams, but we were
individual.
Yeah, we were our own individual agents, but
yeah,
we just kind of went in and collaborated. And it blossomed into like this beautiful thing where people like love following us. Because I mean, I'll be honest, when I came up with the name, the Gallivant Gals, like there is something about when Natalie and I travel together. It's silly, like it's fun, it's
So silly.
adventurous. We're
I revert to teenage Natalie
yes,
when
and I'm not shelled, but I'm very cautious about who sees like a certain side of me. I'm very reserved in certain aspects, but I'm also very open in others. But like my silly side doesn't come out super often, but it comes out full fledged with Natalie. Like I am a it's like two silly goose on the geese two silly gooses on the looses. Okay, that's what it is. And like, so it's just one of those things where it felt natural for us to go into business together. And so when we started, our Gallivant Gals page, we kind of created a following, and people. It was weird because like a year later, I'm at Disney, and
oh my gosh.
when we met on our first adventure, um, like instant messaged our Instagram, and she was like, I just saw you in the park and I got kind of starstruck and I was a little scared to come up and say hi. And I was like, oh my God, you come and said hi. She was like, I just remember when I was like one of you guys' first followers, and to see you in the parks, and I was like, please come say hi if you see me again.
It
But
was our first because we were like, we have 17 followers.
and like it was her mom, and her sister,
And her
and that made
sister.
it an even 20. And we were like, it was the best. And so, but when it blossomed into what it did, it was one of those things that just felt natural. It felt natural for us to go into business together. And we were excited to do it. It was, we had this vision. We didn't think that we were going to start off with agents. We thought it was just going to be me and Natalie, and we have a team of like 20.
Yeah.
And it's just,
I never would have thought.
me neither. And it's just, it's an incredible thing. So what the future holds for the podcast is we're definitely going to be featuring some of our agents.
Yes.
Because we have agents that specialize in certain things. Some of our agents have been places that Natalie and I have not been.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to tell them a little bit about what's to come?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, in the near future, we have someone coming on and she's going to talk to us about a Europe trip she took with On the Waterways. I mean, we have an agent who's hiked to base camp of Everest. She's hiked Kilimanjaro. She's done Finland. Like, she's done a ton. And we have one of our agents is a running coach, and she's done all the Run Disney events. She knows the ins and outs of that. I mean, we really have such a unique group of people. And I just feel so fortunate for how well traveled they are and just the go get 'ems that we have. That's not even a word, but they're go get 'ems.
I mean, when I tell you, like, our agents have booked just
oh my gosh,
a plethora of different types of travel. Like, one of our agents just booked a train tour in Scotland because her clients were wanting to go see Taylor Swift.
Oh yes, that's right.
When I tell you that we have clients and or not clients, we have agents that have all different types of clients, trips, and things that they booked, like a Lord of the Rings tour.
Yes, I was gonna say the Lord of the Rings tour in New Zealand.
When I say niche, I'm talking niche. Okay, so we have some of the most exciting and fun stories to share with you guys that our agents have experienced, either with their clients or experienced themselves, so really to kind of just sum it all up in a pretty little bow, we've got a lot that we're excited to bring to you guys in the future.
Yes.
I think we'll be starting off with Disney because Natalie and I mean, that's kind of our bread. No, I shouldn't say our bread and butter, but
that's how we got started. Like, that is, I am Disney through and through. Like, Disney, I think if you were to ask anyone, what do they think of when they think of me? Disney will come into that conversation for sure.
Yeah.
So that's why our content on our social media stuff is kind of heavy with Disney because, and let's face it, Disney is confusing and it's scary and it's a lot. And so using a travel agent for Disney just makes sense.
Yeah.
Use
And
someone who
Natalie,
knows.
for our annual pass holders, we have a couple of other
Yes.
that are annual pass holders. And when I tell you it's our home away from home, it's our home away from home. Like, we are kind of those
Love.
that, and being, I think that we have a little bit of an advantage being out of state annual pass holders, because we make the most of our time when we're down there.
Oh
Natalie
yeah.
done, or I know, well, you haven't, but I've done day trips. I've done multiple day trips where, like, I'll fly down early morning and fly back late that night.
Yeah.
And so that's like one, and I mean, I've done the 4 parks in one day challenge. I did that with one of our other
Yes.
agents. And so when I say that we are very well versed in Disney,
Oh
we
yeah.
are, but we're also very well versed in Universal.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Absolutely.
we have a lot of agents who are well versed in the cruise industry,
All inclusive.
all inclusives. One of our agents actually just got back from a sandals resort. We have another agent that just got back from Ireland. So really, we have a team that really covers all of it.
All your
And
needs.
I mean, we really feel like that bringing this to a community, which is hopefully what we build, will give you guys some insight and some knowledge. And I mean, hopefully you'll use Gallivant Gals Travel to book your travel. But if not, honestly, even if it helps another agent out there, that we're just here to help build the community, build the industry knowledge, and get people excited to travel and do more. And not everything is going to be about travel. I'm
Yeah.
in the middle of a basement renovation. We might talk renovations one day.
We
Who
just
knows?
sold our house and moved to the country and started homeschool, and we're gonna build. And just like Angelica, she homeschools too.
So it's one of those things where we might just, have,
A life update.
yeah, just tea time where we just chat about things. And but then we'll have the Gallivant gossip, and then a couple of other catchy things, and then we will have our highlight reel, which we want to make sure that we leave kind of pinned, where we're going to hit you guys with the top 10-ish things for this place, this place, this place. So that way you're not having to watch like some long podcast. We want to have like our shorts and our highlight reels, and then our gossip. So definitely make sure that you are following along, because I think we got a lot. I think we bring a lot to the table.
We definitely have a lot. In between our fixations with things, we got plenty to talk about.
Yeah. It might get a little silly from time to time, because
A little.
silly gooses on the looses, but
Just a little.
we might have to trademark that.
I like that.
Silly gooses on the looses.
On the looses. But we're super excited for our new adventure with our podcast, and we're excited to introduce our agents to you. So, to close it up, we just have a few random questions to ask each other. Like, I don't know what she's going to ask me.
And I don't know.
I barely know what I'm going to ask her.
Like, I told her, I said, look, you can ask me any question. It can be about travel. It can be about life. It can be silly. I don't care. But I'm one of those people, I can't write it down, because I feel like it's disingenuous. So like, whatever she asks me, I'm just going to shoot back. So I'm
I'm
ready
not
to go.
quick-witted. You're witty and quick. I'm not. I'm like on the spot. I freeze.
She's an overthinker.
And then 10 minutes after we get off the call, I'd be like, oh my gosh.
No,
I should have said.
I promise you.
I'll still do that.
I'm going to call. I'm going to time it. She will call me within an X amount of minutes after our podcast and be like, you know what I should have asked you?
I should have asked you this question.
She'll be like, next time.
I'm not going to. But I only really have one question that I physically wrote down. Okay.
Shoot.
And it's just a silly question.
Okay.
I heard it on another podcast, so I'm just stealing it. Okay.
We're borrowing.
I'm borrowing.
We're borrowing.
At Disney, if you had to choose one ride to ride for 24 hours, what ride would you ride for 24 hours?
Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror. It wouldn't make you like be done or sick or no.
Tower of Terror, easily. I mean, I've ridden it 13 times in a row.
I do love Tower of Terror. That's my favorite ride.
That was mine and Jay's goal when we went on our last trip together was to ride Tower of Terror 13 times in a row. Tower of Terror is like, okay, a little bit of backstory. Tower of Terror
was not your favorite.
It was not. It's thundering outside. If you hear that, sorry. It was not my favorite ride. They had our girls trip in 2021. They had to drag me like I was grabbing onto things. Did not want to go on this ride. I don't like drop rides. I don't like heights. Okay, so we get on the ride, and this was during COVID, and there was somebody on the ride that took their mask down when it was time to take the picture. Well, they weren't going to give us our picture because the guy took his mask off. It was against policy. And so I'm already like sobbing like a child and trembling.
And doing this.
Like I was like, I looked like I either had just had too much coffee or crack. Like one of them. Like I was, and like I had gripped. I don't remember who was beside me, but I had gripped,
me and Jamie.
I had gripped their hand so hard that like I couldn't even feel my hands. And so they were like, put your hands up. And I was like, no, absolutely not. So I had like the oh heck bars like on the seat I was gripping. So the lady, the doors open and she was like fussing at the guy for taking his mask off. And then she turns to us and she's like, do you guys want to ride it again since he took his mask off? She's like, you guys can come with me this way if so. And she took us like through the cast entrance
elevator.
And I was like, absolutely not. I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Later.
I'm not riding this again. You are not getting me on this ride again. I was crying. And we got back on it and it helped my fear a little bit. And then my husband and I went back like 2 months later and we rode it several times in a row. Well, then March 2023, when our other best friends went and got engaged at Disney, Jay and I made it our mission to ride it 13 times in a row. So we rode it 13 times in a row. And on my last trip, it has been, ever since then, it's been my favorite ride. And it has been like a lifelong dream to get to sign the guest book.
Yes, that's right. You did get to do that.
And I got to sign the guest book at the Tower of Terror. And like, I am sobbing like a child signing the guest book at the Tower of Terror. So that was an easy question. Easy question. So is it my turn?
Yeah.
All right. So since it's Disney related, here's a good one.
I'm ready.
You grew up Disneyland, right?
I went a few times to Disneyland.
Okay. So you weren't like a regular Disneylander?
No, I wouldn't say regular.
Not the question I want to ask you then. Okay. Splash Mountain or Tiana's Bayou? I know we haven't ridden it yet, but are you nostalgic or are you adaptive to change?
So I am very excited to ride Tiana's Bayou, but Splash Mountain has always held a special place in my heart because it was the first ride we rode when we went to Disneyland with my dad. In fact, a certain member in my family that shall remain nameless was crying because he didn't want to ride the ride. I'll just say he is a few months older than me, and he did not want to ride it. So my stepmom was like, well, we'll just wait out here. And my dad was like, no, we're all riding this ride. And so we rode it, and I'll never forget it. Shiloh's picture. Oh, the person that shall remain nameless. The picture is so funny. The first time, but we rode it.
Shiloh.
We rode it multiple times that trip, and he ended up loving it. So, but I'm so excited to see Tiana's. But
I am too. October. Natalie and I are going in October. We're excited.
I cannot wait. It's a much needed trip. Like after the summer we had, it's so needed.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited. I'm excited to see.
Me too.
All right, your turn.
Oh, okay. I'm like, should we stay at? Oh, I have one for you. Universal. I think I know your answer already, though.
Okay.
Velocicoaster or Hagrid's Motorcycle Adventure?
Okay. For the nostalgia, and because
I get that.
I am such a Harry Potter fan and I love Hagrid.
Yes.
I have a Hagrid tattoo. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have Hagrid's wand right there. So I am a huge Hagrid fan. So I am going to say Hagrid's. I'm also going to say Hagrid's because when we took our oldest daughter, um, she's not, or she wasn't at the time, very adventurous with roller coasters, and so the Velocicoaster kind of did her in. It was a one and done. Like, she went great.
Yes.
Like, when I tell you, the pictures of her first Universal trip will be played on a slideshow at her wedding one day because of her faces. I can envision it now. But when I tell you that she was the color of my sweater. But Hagrid's, she loved, even though it went backwards.
Yeah.
Has a little. Um, she loved it, and then when she got to ride in the first row, she had her hands thrown up. So that's a core memory for me. And so
absolutely,
I'm definitely gonna say Hagrid's for sure.
Hagrid's is great. They're both great.
All right, so we'll skip over to Universal.
Okay.
True or false? Did you or did you not try to kill me at Volcano Bay? Did you know?
That is true.
The level of water and the or the
I forgot.
liar.
I forgot. I thought you were going to ask me about my raptor encounter, but I forgot about the.
Oh, I need to ask you about
that.
I'm talking about Volcano Bay, in whence you tried to kill me.
I call it the River of Death. You should have known by my verbiage.
You didn't call it the River of Death before you got me on it, because I was like, Natalie, I really don't want to get my hair wet.
I think I told you it was the River of Death, but I didn't think that you would get your hair wet.
You're like, it's faster than the lazy river.
I just don't remember. I don't remember getting wet like that.
She was like, it's definitely faster than a lazy river. She goes, but I really don't think you'll get your hair wet. Okay, first of all, faster than a lazy river is quite the understatement. When I tell you the undertow is like a class 5 rapid of going down a river. And then all of a sudden, like, you see signs like, if you're not a strong swimmer, don't go past this point. And I'm like,
they make you wear a life jacket, so that should also tell you.
I'm a very buoyant person, okay? Like, when I get in water, I automatically float. Like, that is no joke. So Natalie has it all on video, and I am like bobbing up and down in the water, and I'm like,
with her life jacket, I think that was a little too big, so it's like creeping up on your face like this.
And I was like, you said I wasn't gonna get my hair wet. And Natalie is just giggling the whole time.
It was fun. You giggled too.
Eventually,
once you're like, oh crap, my hair's wet.
It's wet, might as well enjoy it now. But I got out like looking like a shriveled up naked mole rat. Like, I was like, this part of my hair was dry and this part of my hair was wet. So it was like when you give a poodle a bath. Like, it was fun.
I honestly forgot. It had been a few years since I'd been there, and I don't recall it being that much. I really think we hit the rapids, like where they release the water, just at like those perfect timings where it was inevitable to get soaking.
Fully with the life vest on.
Yes. Good memory, though. Good memory.
It was a great memory.
We have some funny videos from that.
We do. We should share that eventually one day. Yes. Of me bobbing up and down like a bobber. So, did it bring you joy, though? Did it bring you joy?
I think there's even a video of me, like, going past you when I'm like...
She's running. She is running. My feet can't even touch the ground because, like, it's moving so fast. And Natalie is just like...
It was fun.
Great.
It was fun.
Okay.
But I don't have really any other questions. And we're about at 35 minutes. So, and we didn't want to go too long.
We don't.
But
we'll save the raptor encounter for our next one.
We can save the raptor encounter. You can go check out our Instagram account.
Must-dos at Universal. But until then, go check out our Instagram because we have a lovely montage of Natalie meeting Blue the raptor.
I'm so jumpy. That's all I'm going to say. And I know what happens.
That's an understatement. Oh, this is not the first time we've ever done this.
It's like the fourth time.
Fully knew it was going to happen, but go watch our Instagram, please.
They do it different every time, though. That I'd never seen that. How they set it up. That was a new setup.
They straight up read Hufflepuff.
Set me up. They sent me up.
They were like,
Gullible Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff will pet an animal even if it has razor sharp teeth and could eat you.
I know.
I'm just mad I didn't get to pet her. It's kind of rude.
I'm mad I didn't get to pet her either. I was so excited.
I was too until I don't know.
Until I ruined it.
Go watch our Instagram for real.
Yes.
If you need a good laugh, go watch it.
It's a good one. I still laugh when I see that video.
I have it in a still shot frame, and it will be shared amongst my favorite memories of all time. Every time I share a Gallivant Gals picture. In fact, still frame is actually in our 1-year anniversary post.
Yes, it is there. I'm just happy I could provide you with some high quality entertainment.
The most genuine look of fear on someone's face that I've ever seen. Universal should use it for advertisements. Really.
They should.
That you burned through every ounce of Botox that you have ever had in your entire
life. Oh, yes.
Like,
it was gone.
And she had just gotten it touched up too.
It was gone.
She burned through every unit she had.
I think it's all gone now. It's not there. It's fine.
Oh, I haven't had it done in a month, but that's another story for another day.
Sounds good.
Yes, you guys, it's been great. We've loved just sharing with you. We hope you will join us again for some Gallivant gossip in the future. And stay tuned for our next podcast. We will definitely keep you up to date when that is coming. I think our next episode is going to be deluxe Disney resorts.
Yes, and we're going to try to do it weekly. I'm sure there'll be weeks that it doesn't happen, but
if we don't do a full week,
full
one for
it's just little snippets.
We'll at least have a highlight reel for you that week
of our Gallivant gossip. Is that what you call that?
The Gallivant gossip, yeah.
I like that.
And that can be our.
It's like news.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's just like our quick news.
I like it.
So, yes.
Awesome. Well, sounds good.
All
Thanks.
Right. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye. Oh, I'm like covering it.